In a quiet village surrounded by lush green fields and towering palm trees, three brothers named Arinze, Obi, and Chidi lived with their kind-hearted mother, Neka. They were a poor family, and every day, Neka would send her sons to the nearby forest to gather firewood, which they would sell at the market to make a living. One sunny afternoon, after gathering a large bundle of firewood, Arinze, Obi, and Chidi felt hot and tired. They came across the Osara River, a sacred river forbidden for swimming. The water shimmered invitingly, and without thinking of the consequences, they decided to cool off with a swim. As they splashed and played in the cool water, a sudden chill swept over them. The air grew thick with tension, and the once gentle river began to swirl ominously. Out of the depths rose Oya, the fierce river goddess, her eyes flashing with anger. "You dare defile my sacred waters?" Oya's voice boomed like thunder, echoing through the forest. "Who dares to swim in Osara?" Arinze, Obi, and Chidi froze in fear, realizing their mistake. Chidi, the youngest and most impulsive, who had jumped into the river first, trembled under Oya's gaze, unable to speak. Oya's anger grew hotter. "For your disrespect and defiance, I curse you." She pointed at the brothers. "Until you return home safely, the youngest among you must not shed a tear. If he cries, your journey will be plagued with terrors unimaginable." With that, Oya disappeared into the river, leaving the brothers shaken and fearful. They knew they had to get home safely, but now they were burdened with a difficult task. They had to protect Chidi from crying, no matter what happened. As they journeyed through the dense forest, eerie sounds filled the air. Shadows danced around them, and strange creatures rustled in the bushes. Each time danger lurked, Kwame and Ayo would glance at Chidi, silently pleading with him to stay strong and not give in to fear. They encountered a deep ravine they had to cross, a bridge made of vines and slippery rocks. Obi slipped and nearly fell, but Arinze caught him just in time. They climbed steep hills where rocks tumbled dangerously. Through it all, Chidi remained silent, his eyes wide with fear but determined not to cry. Night fell, and the forest grew darker and more menacing. They heard whispers in the wind and saw glowing eyes watching them from the shadows. But with each passing challenge, their bond grew stronger, and their determination to protect Chidi hardened. While they were on their way, there was a heavy rainfall. They looked around and saw an empty hut where they decided to rest a little while before they continued their journey. Chidi told his brothers that he is hungry, so the brothers asked him to stay in the hut while they go out to look for food. When his brothers left, he looked around the hut and saw a pot under a chair. He opened it and saw porridge yam well prepared. He finished it and filled the pot with sand, not quite long there. Brothers entered without any food because the heavy rainfall couldn't let them get any food. They pleaded with their younger brother to bear with them, but as soon as it stops raining they will get him something to eat. Chidi, knowing what he has done, continued disturbing his brothers that they need to leave the hut at all costs. His brothers, knowing that he mustn't cry, decided to grant his wish. They stood up and ready to go when an old woman walking with a long and shiny walking stick entered the hut. She was shocked to see the three brothers in her hut. She said in a shocking voice, "Who are you, and what brought you to my hut?" The three brothers were afraid. In a low voice, Arinze, not knowing what Chidi has done, said, "We only decided to rest and wait for the rainfall to stop so that we can continue our journey." The old woman said to them, "I have never seen any human in this forest for over 50 years or more. What could have brought you to this dangerous forest? Sit down, my children, and don't be afraid. Let me set fire to keep us warm," said the old woman. The three brothers felt safe and sat on the old wooden chair. The old woman set up fire and they all sat down close to the burning fire and explained everything that happened to the old woman. The old woman took the pot of porridge to serve the boys some porridge. She opened it and saw sand in it and got confused. She turned to the boys and asked them if they ate her porridge. Arinze quickly said that they had not touched her pot nor eaten her porridge. She looked at them and said, "If you don't tell me the truth, you never leave this hut forever." She stroked her shiny staff on the ground and the doors and windows closed. Chidi, knowing what he had done, came clean, telling the old woman that he ate the porridge when his brothers went out in search of food. The old woman was furious and told them to leave her hut. The three brothers were scared but relieved that the old woman sent them away. Arinze got angry and wanted to beat Chidi, but Obi defended Chidi, reminding him that Chidi mustn't shed a teardrop till they get home. They continued making their way home through the dense dark forest. Suddenly Chidi felt a sharp sting and looked. It was a big black scorpion. He got scared and started shouting. His brothers quickly started consoling him not to cry. He asked his brothers to carry him, saying he couldn't walk due to the pain caused by the scorpion sting. They took turns carrying him till they met a young lady. The lady asked them what they were doing in such a forest at that time. They narrated their experience to her and she felt pity for them. She pointed to a tree with glowing leaves. She told them that if they touched its leaves, it would take them home. They walked towards the tree and touched the leaves, and suddenly they saw themselves at their village square. Finally the three boys, although exhausted, were relieved and home safe. The journey had tested their courage and resilience, but they had made it through together. As they approached their home, the village elder, Motsi Otiji, stepped forward to greet them. "You have faced great trials, my sons," he said with pride. "But your journey is not yet over." Arinze, Obi, and Chidi looked at each other, their hearts heavy with anticipation. They knew that their encounter with Oya had changed them, and they wondered what lay ahead. Motsi Otiji led Arinze, Obi, and Chidi to the center of the village, where the elders and villagers had gathered around a large bonfire. The air was filled with anticipation as everyone waited to hear the brothers' tale of bravery and the challenge they had faced. With a deep breath, Arinze stepped forward and recounted their journey through the forbidden Osara River and the curse laid upon them by Oya, the river goddess. He spoke of their trials in the dark forest, their encounters with terrifying creatures, and their determination to protect Chidi from shedding a single tear. The villagers listened in awe, their eyes wide with admiration for the brothers' courage. They knew that the bond between Arinze, Obi, and Chidi had been tested and forged stronger through adversity. As Arinze finished his tale, Motsi Otiji nodded solemnly. "You have proven yourselves worthy," he declared. "You have faced fear and danger with bravery and unity. But remember, the journey of life is filled with challenges that test our strength and resilience." He turned to Chidi, the youngest brother, who had remained steadfast throughout their journey. "Chidi, you have shown incredible strength by holding back your tears despite the hardships you faced. Remember, tears are not a sign of weakness but of deep emotions that connect us to each other and to our humanity." Chidi nodded, his eyes shining with understanding. He had learned that strength came not only from physical courage but also from emotional resilience and the support of loved ones. The villagers cheered and celebrated the brothers' triumph, showering them with praise and gratitude. Arinze, Obi, and Chidi felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that they had overcome the curse and returned home safely. As the bonfire crackled and the night grew still, the brothers reflected on their journey and the lessons they had learned. They knew that life would continue to present challenges, but they had the courage and wisdom to face them together. Moral lesson: true courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to confront and overcome it. Strength is found in unity, resilience, and embracing our emotions, including the tears that connect us to our humanity.